Hello, welcome to day 5 of the Aquatics GB Swimming Championships. We are nearly at the end of the week, but there's still plenty more action to come. Over the last 4 days, we've seen British records being broken, we've seen lifetime bests set, and we've seen plenty of spots booked for that Singapore World Championships. It is all very exciting. The athletes have been arriving. Alex Cahoon there, he needs to perform well to get a spot to Singapore, but Ben Proud has got something to say about that, I am sure. There's so much to come today, including Jacob Whittle as well. There he is ready to go, giving us a little smile. Abby Wood and Katie Shanahan, they are going head-to-head in the women's 200 IM. That is going to be a good one at the end of the night. Thank you so much for joining us. Do not go anywhere over the next few hours because we've got a lot of good racing to bring you. Here is how finals work then, just to give you a little bit of a reminder. Earlier we had the B final, we had the heats this morning. The British final, or the A final, is the top 8 from the heats. They go into that one. We've got the junior final as well, and you'll also be seeing the para finals. The top 8 from the heats this morning go into that, and those para finals are ranked on points. It's not necessarily the first person that touches that wall first. So here's what is coming up on day 5 then. We've got the men's 800-metre freestyle kicking things off, followed by the women's 100-metre butterfly. Then we've got the men's 200-metre breaststroke, the men's 50-metre freestyle, and then rounding off the end of the night, we've got the women's 200-metre IM. Well, joining me on the sofa today is a very special person. It's Drew Brand, the CEO of Aquatics GB. Drew, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure you're a very busy man, or you pretend to be at least.
Well, yes, exactly.
And how have you found the championship so far? Are you happy with how they've gone?
Yeah, pretty happy, to be honest with you. We really want to make sure that this is like an annual event and that we don't just have profiles just during an Olympic year. So it's really, really important in this year, first year post-Paris. We've got a big World Championships. Clearly, we're picking teams for Singapore, and we really want to make sure this is a big spectacle and an entertaining spectacle. And it's been fantastic all week. We've got literally thousands of people in the venue. We've got people watching on TV. We've got basically loads of social media going on. So it's a really putting swimming on the map as it should be.
It's been brilliant as well because you've got some big names still in this that are taking it very seriously, that want to get those times. Duncan Scott, for example, has been phenomenal, just to name one. But how important is it for these athletes to book those spots to the World Championships?
It's really important. You know, everybody kind of gets in a framework of talking about LA, but LA's 4 years ago. You know, winning on the world stage is what we're about, and Singapore is a World Championships, and we want to go there and perform really well. But they've got to get on that plane and they've got to get on that squad, which means they need to hit the times. Yeah,
LA, four years to come, 4 years in the future. Very exciting, isn't it? But the World Championships are very important as well. But also what's important is the crowd that are here in the arena who are really enjoying it, but also the young kids and schools that are watching, because you want to make an impact on them as well, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done quite a lot of work in trying to make sure that we're using the profile of this event to reach as many people as possible, whether that be in terms of fans and entertainment, but also in terms of trying to get people to participate in the sport. We've got a bit of a problem with school swimming in this country. So in some of the poorer areas, some people are leaving primary school. Over 50% who are not able to even swim 25 metres. That's a big problem for us. We should be using the spectacle of these kind of events and the profile of our athletes to try and inspire those kids into water. So clearly we're obviously running the winner swimmer competition this week, where you can win a visit from an AGB athlete to your school, and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that the reach of this goes as far as possible.
You can scan that QR code as well.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
Is on
yes,
the screen
absolutely.
there.
So please go ahead, scan, get your kid's school in the draw, and hopefully you'll be lucky and win the competition.
Who doesn't want to win a swimmer?
Who doesn't?
I would have loved an Olympic swimmer coming to my school. That would have been absolutely brilliant.
Exactly right, and hopefully we'll be able to give quite a few of those away.
Yeah, and the other thing that I really love about these championships, Drew, which has just worked so well again this year, is the fact that the para swimming is also alongside, and it's just so brilliant to see it. Are you happy with how that's gone as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did that for the first time last year, and it worked really well. And you know, ironing out a few of the tweaks this year. Again, it's just what the para athletes deserve. They're athletes, they're high performance athletes. We need to give them the stage and treat them as such. And it's fantastic to see them line up against their able-bodied peers and really make a spectacle of it.
And just finally, what's the future for Aquatics GB? Big question.
We've got to keep growing. we're on a really good curve at the moment. You know, we've got lots of really good interest. We're proving that this isn't just a once every 4-year sport, that we can keep that momentum going. So we need to obviously perform well in Singapore, we need to grow the profile of the sport, and we need to make more people interested in what is a fantastic sport.
Well, Drew, thank you so much. Now, we were talking a little bit about para swimming, so let's tell you how selection works for them, because it's a little bit different. So there's 24 places up for grabs to go to Singapore for the World Championships. Up to 18 can be selected at these championships. They must go under the time in the heats or the finals. Nobody is automatically selected, unlike swimming, and all athletes under the time will be up for consideration. So it is all very exciting, lots and lots to talk about. But joining me now on the sofa, it is like a conveyor belt here. We've got one person going out, one person coming back in. It is two-time Paralympic champion and MBE, Stephen Clegg. Stephen, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. A little bit hot and sweaty like I've been all week, but you're very used to this heat, aren't you?
I mean, yeah, normally I'm in swimming trunks, so it's not too bad for me, but it's my first time in a while experiencing it in city clothes, so a lot of sympathy for the crowd, the amazing crowd that keep coming out every year after year to come support us.
Yeah, they are amazing, aren't they? I bet you just want to be back in that pool. Tell us what you're up to now. I do want to get on to Paris, but what's your situation now?
Yeah, so fortunately after Paris, I suffered an injury that's taken me out for the year, so I'm due to have an operation in a couple of weeks on my shoulder that will repair hopefully three tendons and then get me back fighting fit for the future going into LA.
That is really exciting. So you are aiming for LA then?
Absolutely, yeah. Not done yet.
Talk to us about the Paris Paralympics then, because that must have been honestly one of the best times of your life.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It was a really emotional ride to get into that games. From a lot of challenges outside of the pool going into the games, and also just the actual spectacle of the games itself. It was in Tokyo. It was a bit of heartbreak for me in terms of missing out on gold by a few 100ths of a second, and then not having a crowd in Tokyo as well was really challenging.
0.0 seconds you missed out on gold.
Yeah, it was very close. And that haunted me for the 3 years in between Tokyo and Paris. And then, yeah, going into Paris, I had an army of friends and family come out to support me, which almost made it so much better. I'm so grateful that I got to have them there to share that experience with me.
I had a look at your Instagram and I saw that you did a post talking about how you missed out on that gold by 0.06 seconds, and you said that since that moment of heartbreak, you made a couple of changes and you and your team just worked so hard to ensure that you did win that gold. What did you do and what did it take to get that gold?
There was two main things. One, the mental side of things shifted quite dramatically, largely going into Tokyo, there was a lot of pressure on that moment of winning, and I created this entire narrative, and winning gold in Tokyo was supposed to be this fairy tale ending to my career. I went into Tokyo with fully expecting to retire and be satisfied with everything that I achieved. And and after that point I was pretty crushed and just very, very heavy, and me and my coach talked about getting back to the play of sport and really enjoying showing up to training every day, and from that point on the gains just kept coming really naturally. And we also had a big shift from understanding what my impairment was and how it affected me in the water. I think a lot of people assume with visual impairments it's very much the spot in the turn and the finish is going to be the issue, and sort of swimming straight is going to be the issue, but it's a skill acquisition disability as well. How I learn is very different to how my able-bodied counterparts swim, like Duncan Scott, and how he processes information is very, very different to the way I would process information. So me and my coach Matt Trodden at the University of Edinburgh, we worked pretty hard to find ways to bridge that gap and that deficit.
Yeah, well, it's so good, and you did it in Paris, and you're going to be going for LA as well, so we cannot wait to see what you can do. Stephen Clegg, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you.
Well.
Cheers.
Get into it. So let's get on to the swimming then. These are the athletes that have been selected for Singapore. We've got 19 official confirmations. You can see the names that are in the pink box. They are already going to Singapore because they won Olympic medals in Paris. The other names have been confirmed because because they have got that time at the British Championships. Holly McGill is a TBC. She did go under the time, but she came second. So it looks like she probably will be going, but we can't say for officially that she will be going. But one of the names that got a medal in Paris is joining us on the sofa alongside Olympian Anna Hopkin. James Guy, Anna Hopkin, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks. How are you doing? Anna, I'm going to come to you first. How is life after retirement? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's probably a lot less stressful in terms of overthinking and over-analysing every single training session, but it's still very busy, but doing things I love and, yeah, enjoying it.
Like what? What are you doing?
I mean, working pretty hard, doing things I'm passionate about with AP, just done an internship with the UK Sports Institute, doing performance lifestyle, and then other than that, just catching up with friends and family a lot more often than I used to be able to. And
I can imagine actually really enjoying that, being able to relax as well. How is it being back here by the swimming pool and not being in it?
Hot.
It is very
It's actually
hot.
sometimes quite nice to get in there and just like cool down, but it's nice to be on the other side of it and just watch lots of fast swimming, enjoy just being a spectator rather than having the stress of racing. And obviously I know loads of the people who are still here racing, so I still get nervous for them, but it's nice to see.
Well, one of those guys still racing is of course Jimmy. How are you doing? How are you feeling after the start of the week?
Yeah, I'm all right. Obviously had quite a couple first 2 hard days, 400 free and 200 fly, but I've had a few days kind of to relax and recover, so been switching off, been going for walks around Stratford, doing circles and laps around there. So
nice. Seeing the sights of Stratford.
Yeah, of course. I find it quite hard to kind of sit in my room and do nothing. So, but yeah, first 2 days were really good, and yeah, it's found pretty decent.
And you're doing the 200 free on Sunday, aren't you?
I am indeed.
How are you feeling ahead of that?
Yeah, pretty good. My 400 free was great. I was really happy with that. I've got a lot of speed there. But yeah, looking forward to the 200, and obviously it's one of my main events, so yeah, looking forward to racing it.
Well, we've got a few clips that we want to show you from last night, because last night's racing was excellent. Let's start with the men's 100 metre fly then. The finish of this, Jimmy, because this is something that you usually swim in, was unbelievable.
Yeah. No, it was really good. You want to make sure that the last 5 metres you keep your head down and you kick to the wall. You can see then it was so tight between Ed and Jacob and the young lad from Plymouth, but Ed got his hand on the wall first, but it's fine margins, and you want to finish strong, and you want to practice that in training all the time, and it's not being sloppy. That's really, really important as well.
Not being sloppy must be so difficult when you're so tired.
Yeah, it is. It is, and that's one thing we try and do in training is keep going, and getting the finishes right all the time.
Anna, let's talk about the women's 100 back, because 200 back, because that was also an incredibly tight finish, wasn't it? Katie Shanahan took the win, and she's been outstanding all week. How impressed have you been with her?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine doing a 200 back, but to hold that kind of level of technique and speed it up towards the end and to have such a tight finish and to keep your composure right into the wall, I think she's having an incredible week. It'll be great to see how she's doing in the 2IM later today.
Yeah, we are so excited to see her in that. Let's take a look at the picks for tonight then, starting with the men's 200 breast. Jimmy, what are you expecting from this one?
I feel like it's going to be quite a tight race. You want to make sure that, obviously Greg's probably the heavy favourite, I would say. It's about good pacing, finishing strong. You see guys, obviously, Max Morgan coming through. He's a young junior as well. So it's going to be a great race tonight. And, let's see who's getting the hand on the wall first.
Yeah, there he is. There's Max. That is... how do you increase the speed? Can he do it?
Yeah, I think you can. I feel like, obviously, he had a great 50, he had a great 100. And to make sure he kind of keeps his distance per stroke, use his speed to your advantage on these longer events. So, yeah, I think he can do it. It's pacing it right, having a good, strong finish, but we know he can go out fast. And we'll see what happens tonight.
What about the men's 53 then? Because this is a really tight race, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that Ben's the clear favourite, but obviously Jacob Mills is going in fastest. So, Ben's got a fantastic start. He's got the calibre. He's won loads of races at every single level. But, he's the oldest in the race going against the youngest in the race. And it'll be really interesting to see who can come out on top.
Ben's not used to going into a race having been second in the heat, is he? How is he going to cope with that? Because Jacob Mills, who we can see here, is just so unbelievably fast at the age of 17.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jacob will just be excited to get a race like next to Ben, and Ben knows how to do it. He'll often switch off in the heat and kind of go slower into the last 5, so I'm sure he'll go a lot quicker tonight.
And Jimmy, just very quickly, the women's 200 IM. This should be very good, very tight. Abby Wood and Katie Shanahan.
Yeah. You know, I feel like, this can be, very, very tight again. Obviously, Leah Schlossen there in the video. She trains with me in Manchester, so hopefully she can get one of them top 2 spots. But, Abby Wood, Katie Shanahan, it's going to be quite a tight race tonight. But like we said, 200 metres is about pacing, finishing strong. Katie obviously swam really well in the 200 back last night. And she's had a great week so far. And PB in the 100 as well. So, she's on form. She is. And Abby Wood as well. Good form at the start of the week. It's going to be a good race tonight.
It is going to be a really tight battle. What's your prediction?
You can't go against Abby, I think. I mean, she's...
come on, back to Manchester. Leah Schlossen for the win. Leah Schlossen for the win. I think it'll be tight. It'll be a tight race, but if Leah can get top 2, I think Abby will win it. But I think it's good. Abby, Katie, Leah. That's my prediction. But I would love Leah to get top 2 tonight. I would do.
Interesting. Okay, well, let us know what you think, guys. Hop on the Instagram and check it out and have a vote and see what time you think will be the winning time. Right, guys, thank you so much. You can leave this hot, sticky sofa and go and enjoy the swimming somewhere else. We'll hand you over to our commentary team now of Andy Jameson and Dan Jervis.
What a fascinating chat. 2 absolute superstars there on the sofa with Betty Glover. This is the first final of this evening. It is night 5. It's only a 6-night meet, and it's really been a fabulous event so far. This in lane number 2 is Thomas Trevelcock. Just outside him in 1 is Luke McGee, and in 0 is Arthur Logan of Edinburgh University. And then in 6, that was Luke Hornsey. In 3 here, this is the 3rd fastest seed into this. It's the final heat of the men's 800 metres freestyle, so 10 lanes could be used. In 4, it's Tyler Melbourne-Smith of Loughborough University, and I can update you that there's actually been a very late withdrawal because Reese Grady of Stockport Metro unfortunately came to the warm-up really not feeling very well, and pretty bad flu and the shivers, so having taken a warm-up, decided sensibly not to swim.
Yeah, I'm gutted for Reese, but he definitely made the right call tonight. Your health is the most important thing, but Reese, rest up, get ready to come back and win the next one, mate.
And he won that national title on the 1500 metres freestyle, so job done really from this championship. That leaves the fastest seed in lane number 4, Tyler Melbourne-Smith. Probably started as a pretty big favourite as well, I would say, from Loughborough University. So it's Melbourne-Smith in 4, Sargent in 3, in 6 it's Hornsey. There's a junior in 8, Samuel Sterry. It's the final heat of the men's 800 metres freestyle. And right up and pretty quickly up into the stroke there, right in the centre, is Tyler Melbourne-Smith. Moved to Loughborough University swimming team, and it looks like he's performing pretty well. Season's best of 8 minutes, 0.9, and his lifetime best 7:59. So it'd be lovely to see him duck underneath that 8 minutes again. Well, again joined by Dan Jervis, Welsh Rockets, a distance freestyle supremo, double Olympian in the 1500 metres freestyle, made the final there. How do you swim an 800 metres freestyle? What sort of tactics will Tyler Melbourne-Smith, the fastest seed, be adopting here?
Oh, well, not with that, Andy. Good evening. So what we'll see with Tyler now, we might see him take it out quite quick. We might see him want to swim this race on his own. The other boys in the race will obviously know Tyler. They know they've swum against him for many years. They'll know how he paces his race, so they're going to try their best to stick with him. But Tyler is very quick on the first half of the race, so we might see him leave the rest of the field quite quickly. But sticking with him is Tom Trevelcock from Swansea University, one of my old training teammates. We know Tom's in good shape this week, but let's see if he can keep up with him.
Well, his lifetime best 7 seconds slower than Tyler Melbourne-Smith, so he's having a go early doors here. This is good to see. First over at the 150 turn, it is right in the centre there. Tyler Melbourne-Smith, well, he's quite a way under at 30 seconds average at the moment, but they'll settle down into a nice steady pace. 30.04 for that third 50. I think he's on for a lifetime best with a 30.04 early doors there.
Well, it's a little bit early to call something like that, but he looks like he's on for a good swim today. He's very long in the water, As a distance swimmer myself, I was always told you need to make yourself look 9 foot tall. Now, obviously, none of us around here are 9 foot tall, but when you stretch out, the longer you are in the water, the more water you can hold, and the more water you can pull, the more water you can hold to pull yourself through.
Fastest time this morning from the heats was 8:08, so 8:08 is the standard, and you can win it from one of the heats here, one of the few times when you can do that. I think in the power events from the A and the B finals, but only really from the finals in the final session, apart from these heat declared winner races, the 8s and the 1500 metres freestyle. And he's been pretty consistent. He's settled into a pace, Tyler Melbourne-Smith. He's gone 30 flat, and 29.95. So less than 1/10 of a second splitting each 50 so far for those last 3 50s. Coming up to 300 metres turn. And then at 150, I said, do you think he's on for a PB? And he said it was much too early to tell. At what stage can you tell when a distance freestyler is looking good and is starting to go for a PB?
I'd probably say when they've got about... It all depends on the race. So I'd probably say the longer the race, the earlier you can see it. But in an 800, I'd probably say with about 200 metres to go, you can say, oh, they're on for a good one here. Maybe a little bit before. If they're really under the time, you could probably tell from 400 that they're on for a good PB.
It's quite late. I'm quite surprised you say that 200 to go. Wow.
Well, anything can happen. You know, 800 metres, you could be great for the first 300, but you can lose your strength pretty quickly in this event. Now at the 350 mark, he swum that length in a 30.41, so he has dropped back a little bit, but he is looking very strong still. We'll see what time he's on now when he gets to the halfway mark, the 400 metre mark.
Well, interesting for me there, Dan, that swimmer in lane number 3, that's Anthony Sargent, Alexander Sargent of Swansea, actually swam 1/10 of a second faster on that last 50. So 30.4 was the last one. This is the halfway turn, 30.2, so he's a little bit quicker again as Tyler Melbourne-Smith. And he's still 2.5 seconds underneath that averaging 30 seconds per 50. And let's hope he can go underneath that lifetime best of, what is it, to 7:59.5.
Tyler is swimming this exactly how I would swim this. So he has gone up quite quick. But what I would do if I was Tyler now, I would try to back end the race. I always try to negative split my distance races, whether it be the 800 or the 1500. Now, negative split is where you swim the second half of the race faster than the first half.
Well, he's sped up again as Tyler Melbourne-Smith, so maybe he's listening to you, Dan, and he's doing what you suggest there. He put in a 30.4 a couple of 50s ago. That was a 30.11. And at this turn, he'll have 6 lengths to go. This is the 500-metre turn in this final heat of the men's 800 metres freestyle. And Tyler Melbourne-Smith will be first over. Maybe now it's just starting to make a move is Luke Hornsey. He's moved into second place up in lane 6 from Edinburgh University. Third is Alexander Sargent of Swansea, with Sean McCann swimming really well in 7th from Loughborough. So this is just starting to open up a little bit, and some moves being made at that halfway mark, at that 400. Coming into the 550 here, Dan. How's it going?
Yeah, we were talking just now, Andy, about when do I think I can start to see a distance swimmer if they're going to get a PB, and I think it's about now. I'm looking at Tyler, and I think he's going to get a really good PB here. He's from that last 50 in 30.48. I think he's on track for coming a few seconds under that 8-minute mark. He's looking great. He knows he's well ahead of the rest of the field. He's got clear water. He can just kind of enjoy this last 200 metres.
Enjoy the last 200 and 800 freestyle. You're having a laugh, mate. I tell you what, it's really interesting. Sprinters, we don't like to say it, but we've got huge admiration for you distance guys. You're absolutely bonkers, but 30.5 there. So actually, that's the slowest 50 that he's done so far. And sitting next to me, Dan Jervis giving him a wave. Tyler Melbourne-Smith breathing towards us, looking at us, directly to us at the moment. And at the end of this length, he's going to have 3 lengths left, just 150 left. Can he go sub 8 minutes for this 800 freestyle?
I think he can. He is looking great. And yeah, I was giving him a wave then. I know Tyler. I've swum with him for a few years. He's a fellow Welshman. It's surprisingly hard to wave when you've got a microphone to your mouth.
Well, there's no doubt about the leader at the moment. That is Tyler Melbourne-Smith. Silver on the 400 metres freestyle. But the battle here for the silver on this, the 800, is getting quite spicy, you know. In lane number 6 at the moment, it's Luke Hornsey of Edinburgh University. Up there in 3 is Alexander Sargent. And also having a crack in lane 7. Closest to us is Sean McCann of Loughborough. Not sure if he may have left it a bit too late, but I think he could maybe get a medal here. This is definitely possible. 90 metres to go in this final heat of the men's 800 metres freestyle. And Tyler Melbourne-Smith of Loughborough University looking good, Dan.
Yeah, he's looking really good in this last 75. He's paced this to perfection. He is swimming this last 75. You can see him picking up the pace. You can see his stroke get a little bit shorter, but he's raising the stroke tempo there, the stroke rate, and he's really brought the legs in strong.
Look at this battle for second, third and fourth. This is really tight.
I think he's going to be quite close to that 8-minute mark. I hope he can dip under here, Andy.
So the final 30 metres of this final heat of the men's 800 metres freestyle, and Tyler Melbourne-Smith of Loughborough University, how much can he get under that 8-minute mark? It's going to be close. His lifetime best is 7:59.59. 7:59.59, a massive battle for third and fourth at the moment. 7:59.59, he's done it. That's a great lifetime best. Well done. 9/10 of a second underneath this best time. Oh, so close. Oh, my word, for third and fourth. The silver goes to Luke Hornsey, 8:03.11. And look at that finish for third and fourth. Alexander Sargent, he went 8:04.28. And in fourth place, Sean McCann, 8:04.34. 6 100s between third and fourth. Oh, my word. But no doubt about the winner, and that's a fabulous lifetime best in his first British senior national title for Tyler Melbourne-Smith of Loughborough University.
Well done, Tyler. That was a fantastic swim. Yes, you're right, Andy. It was his first, but something's telling me I don't think it's going to be his last.
Oh, he swam it very well, didn't he? Look at the legs there. Really driving, saved a lot. I wonder if he can go a little bit faster. It looked like he had quite a lot left there, Dan.
He did. Now, I've watched many of my races, and many times in my races you've commentated on mine, and you've told me exactly the same thing. Winning that 800 men's 800 freestyle, the fastest heat, Tyler Melbourne-Smith with a fantastic swim, dipping under that 8-minute mark, 7:58.68. And silver medal, Luke Hornsey from Edinburgh University, and a strong finish from Alexander Sargent from Swansea University. I am gutted for Sean McCann. It is hard being that close.
Well, Betty
what a massive swim that was from Tyler Melbourne-Smith. Well done. You got a silver last year. You've upgraded it to a gold, and you've got a PB as well. How pleased are you with that?
Yeah, I think it was an all right swim. I was by myself.
All right?
Yeah, I want to go a bit quicker, but by myself, so it's a bit harder. But well done to Luke and Alex. I mean, they put in a good performance. So yeah, it was good.
They did indeed. How can you go quicker then? What's the plan for the future?
My turns, they're like terrible, so I've just got to improve them.
Tyler, you were British champion, you got a gold medal, you got a PB. I mean, that was pretty good. At what point, as a distance swimmer, do you realise you're on for a PB? Do you even realise?
No, I didn't know how quick I was going.
Oh, well done. Everybody give it up for Tyler Melbourne-Smith. And your top 3 as well.
National title. Luke Hornsey in silver medal and Alexander Sargent in bronze. Sean McCann so close. Goodness me. 6 100ths of a second over 8 minutes and 4 seconds. And here's the medals. They're being presented by Tyler's mum, Alison Melbourne-Smith. And the bronze going to Alexander Sargent. Luke Hornsey there getting the silver. Mum presenting to son. Well done. Well, he didn't tell down she's going to have a wet shirt, but she's also going to be absolutely delighted with that. Alison Melbourne-Smith presenting the national title, a gold medal, to her son, Tyler Melbourne-Smith, on the men's 800 metres freestyle. Wow, what a race that was. Love it, Dan. And does it feel a little bit funny to be sitting in the commentary box watching a race like that, watching a distance freestyle race when you've been national champion so many times?
No, it is. It's weird. It is weird. You know, like I love watching the distance races. I know they can seem quite boring sometimes, but I love the strategy of it all.
Junior final of the women's 100 metres butterfly. And fastest seed in lane 4 is Theodora Taylor. She's having a good meet. Some of season's best to qualify fastest for this final. Sky Carter right next to her in 5. European Junior consideration time for the 100 fly, 60.03. It's pretty quick. We're going to have to see a lifetime best for these women if they're going to qualify for that European Juniors, but it's happened pretty much every race so far. Catherine Renfrew, Perth City on 1 and 2. Abigail McInerney of Inverclyde. 3 is Edie Price of Mount Kelly. 2 Mount Kelly swimmers in this. Her teammate Blythe Kinsman in 6. In 4, it's Theodora Taylor with Sky Carter in 5. Kinsman is in 6. Coco Croxford in 7. And Georgia Holgate of City of Cambridge in 8. It's the junior final of the women's 100 fly. The time they're looking for, basically sub-60 at 60.03 is the European Junior qualification time. And that bright orange hat right in the centre for Sky Carter of Basildon and Phoenix. The junior final for athletes born 2007 to 2011. And a great start underwater there for Sky Carter right in the centre in lane 5 with Theodora Taylor in 4. Also a good start from Blythe Kinsman in lane 6. So these 3 in the centre in lanes 4, 5 and 6 started well.
Absolutely great start from Sky Carter. She took the full 15 metres underwater. She can do the same after the turn. She can end up swimming 30% of this race underwater, which is actually the fastest part of a race.
Well, it certainly is, and the amount of practice that swimmers do. What a great turn from Theodora Taylor, my word. Well, she went in pretty much even, but goodness me, the burst of the surface and the momentum that she used off that wall, really fantastic. This is a great swim. Well, 60 flat is definitely on here. Also going well is Blythe Kinsman from Mount Kelly in lane 6. So it's Theodora Taylor in 4. In 6, it's Kinsman. Can she get close to that 60 seconds? 60.03 she's looking for. Oh, 59.92. Well done, Theodora Taylor. Wow. Well, she's made the qualification time by 11/100ths of a second. Well done. Oh, that's great to see. Yes, indeed. Well, first time sub-60. It's a massive barrier for any event, but sub-60 on the 100 fly, that's wonderful. Well done. And European Junior qualification time for Theodora Taylor of Torvine Dolphins. You must be delighted with that bit of fellow Welshie.
Yes, I know Theodora really well. She's lovely, and she's got a fantastic coach, Tom Croak. They train down in Torvine, near Newport. They train in a 25-metre pool handley, so her turns are obviously very good. But once a week, she does train at the Swim Wales High Performance Centre in a 50. Now, the result of the women's 100-metre butterfly junior final, Theodora Taylor storm into victory under the minute mark, 59.92. Edith Price silver and Blythe Kinsman in 3rd.
A lifetime best for each of those first 3. Haven't managed to check the next ones after that, but what a swim. So great to see sub-60 for 100 fly. Well, there's the ready room for the next event. It's the women's 100 fly for the para-athletes. And again, joined by the legend that is Paul Noble, 15 times Paralympic medalist, 5 times Paralympian. Take us through this one, Paul.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, looking forward to this one. This should be another big points total for some of these para swimmers. Sienna Speed leads them out. Brock Whiston, 4th place in the Paralympic Games. She hasn't achieved the qualifying standard yet for Singapore. She goes in the S8 class. She'll be looking for something tonight in the 2 events that she has. Georgia Sheffield, some great 100 backstroke earlier in the week to make a qualification standard. Kellyanne Warrington, Paralympic Games silver medalist in this event. She goes in lane number 6. Can she make an improvement on the heat time to challenge that standard? World record holder in the S14 classification, Paralympic champion, is Poppy Maskell. Faye Rogers, though, the informed swimmer this week, set a new European record in the heats this morning, set a new world record in the 200 fly earlier on this week. And a great swim in the centre lane from Olivia Newman-Baronius. Faye Rogers swims in the S10 class for those with a physical impairment. Olivia Newman-Baronius swims in the S14 class, those with an intellectual impairment. So as they line up, 3 swimmers with a physical impairment. That's Faye Rogers, Callie-Ann Warrington and Brock Whiston. They'll be closest to us as we look. And the 4 S14s on the far side of the pool. Now, Poppy Muskell and Olivia Newman-Baronius, they're in the same classification. They always have good tussles on this 100 fly. Poppy Muskell was on top in Paris, the Paralympic Games. Olivia Newman-Baronius set a new world record here in this pool at the trials last year. But that was overtaken by Muskell. What can Faye Rogers do as well? She will be the favourite in lane 5. Newman-Baronius was fastest into this final, but of course it's not all about the time, it is about the points, how close the swimmers can get to the standard time for their classification. She's based roughly on a world record mark, and Faye Rogers, well, she had a fantastic points total, 1,045. That's going to be very, very difficult to beat by any of these swimmers. Muskell out very, very fast indeed. 29.78 for her, ahead of Newman-Baronius, and Rogers out in 30.35, and that is faster than the European record time that she did this morning. So she's on course for a European record again, Faye Rogers, if she can hold this pace. She's coming up alongside Olivia Newman-Baronius and Poppy Muskell. It's going to be a very, very close finish indeed from these 3 swimmers. The European record for Faye Rogers was 104.51, and she's improved it, 104.17 for Faye Rogers. Another European record for Faye Rogers. What a great swim that was. What a good swim from Olivia Newman-Baronius and from Poppy Muskell as well, all in the 900-point range. Oh, what a quality field that was. Just tying up some of the other results. Callie-Ann Warrington, an improvement for her, but just outside the qualification standard for the swimmer from Royal Tunbridge Wells. 108.69 for Callie-Ann Warrington. But there's Faye Rogers. Well, what a week she has had. A world record in the 200 butterfly, and now a European record in her favourite event, I think, the 100 butterfly. Well, the 2 S14s went out very fast. Poppy Muskell and Olivia Newman-Baronius. It was Olivia that got the touch at the end, but look how close that was. The 2 S14s and the S10 coming in together. Faye Rogers, lifetime best, and a European record for her. She takes it, 1,062 points, incredible. Olivia Newman-Baronius, 966, and Poppy Muskell, 952. That is the highest quality we have seen this week in the para events. So the top 3 swimmers under the consideration time for Singapore, so that's fantastic. Well, she's going to speak now to Betty Glover on poolside.
What a brilliant race. And the really nice thing about this is that all 3 medalists are under that Singapore consideration time for the World Championships. So that is great news, everybody. Faye, let's quickly speak to you, because you broke a world record the other day. You've done 2 European records today. What have you been eating?
Honestly, I have no idea. I keep surprising myself with these times. But I couldn't be happier. I've worked really hard the last few months, so I'm just really glad to see it paying off.
It certainly is. Talk us through that race then, from your perspective.
Well, my goal was to go out a little bit quicker than this morning, and then just not died on the second length. I was really racing Olivia, actually. I was like, I could see her next to me, and that's always a really good competition. So, yeah, I was also just focusing on the skills, like getting around the wall a bit quicker and my fly kick. But yeah, they were my kind of main focuses.
Well, well done, brilliant. Everybody give it up for Faye, Olivia and Poppy.
Well, three swimmers really performing at the top of their game. Faye Rogers, he's going to enjoy this medal presentation. She was presented a medal in the individual medley by her brother yesterday. It's now her mum's turn to do that. Jackie Rogers presenting the medals for this 100 butterfly. There's Poppy Maskell, just beaten on the touch by Olivia Newman-Baronius, the two S14 swimmers, and the champion in 104.17, a new European record time for Faye Rogers. And there's Mum, a proud mum, Jackie Rogers, presenting those medals. It's been a family affair for Faye Rogers this week. Fantastic swimming from these three para swimmers. Teammates in Paris, together again on the top of the medal podium.
Well, that was a fabulous race. Such high quality from these para-athletes. Well, this morning, after the heats of the women's 100 metres butterfly, Betty spoke to Kiana McInnes straight after her heat.
Kiana, well done. You obviously qualified for Singapore in the 200 earlier in the week. So does that sort of ease the pressure, take the pressure off a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Again, I'm not sure if I was expecting to go that fast this morning, but my coach sort of said I'd had a few days off, so sort of give it a good effort to sort of wake my body up a bit. So I'm pretty pleased with that time. And yeah, again, me and Lucy Grieve, I think will be a really good race tonight.
And what's the plan between now and the race tonight then? Lots of rest, I imagine?
Yeah, a big nap, I think, and get some good fuel down me. Yeah, Yazoo's, I think, all around. Yeah, just a good nap, and then, yeah, come back and see how good I can go to tonight.
Perfect, we can't wait. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, I wonder if she can get close to the British record. There it is. It's Ellen Gandy's at 57.25. We'll certainly keep you updated with that during the race, but well, it's a 13-year-old British record. Shannon Stott going in lane number 8. The slowest seed into this final, did really well to make it. 8th in the 200 fly final. Now into the 100 fly final and 8th. Lifetime best to qualify. Betsy Wizard, she goes in lane 1. Won the B final 200 fly. Now the world champion women's 200 fly, Laura Stevens. What a great swim she had on that race there. Well, she's qualified in lane 7 for this, the 100 fly. And then what a meet this young lady's having. Eva Akaro from Repton. Gold on the 50 fly, gold on the 50 freestyle. Swimming fly for fun and won the 50 fly gold medal. What can she do on this 100? Emily Richards of Manchester swam really well on the 200. I thought she might win it for a short while. And Kira Schlossen, well, we just heard from her from Edinburgh University. Well, this could be perfect for her. She was bronze, equal bronze on the 50, 4th on the 200. This could be her event. Lucy Grieve of Stirling, 5th on the 200 fly, better on the shorter events though. And the fastest seed in lane number 4. Well, we have just heard from Kiana McInnes, won the 200 metres butterfly. I'd love to see her win the 100 in under the Singapore consideration time, which is very fast. It's 57.20. And the British record's 57.25, so to qualify by rights, she's got to go a British record. Don't forget there's a medley relay slot, though, potentially up for grabs here too. This should be a great race, Stan.
There's a few girls in this race tonight, Andy, that could actually do this British record.
Come on, ladies. British record, 57.25. It's been a long time. Great to see them go close to that. The final of the women's 100 fly. Schlossen in 3, Akaro in 2, McInnes in 4, Grieve 5, Richards 6, Stevens 7. This gold medal could go absolutely anywhere. It's the final of the women's 100 metres butterfly. So hard to call. Superstars in 5. That was University of Stirling's Lucy Grieve. 5th on the 200 fly, but a much better sprinter, and she started super well down this first 30.
Yeah, there's a big range of swimmers going in this as well. Eva Acaro, we know she won the gold in the 50 fly. We know Kiana won the gold in the 200 fly. How are they going to meet in the middle? Kiana gets the wall first of the first 50 in 27.36.
Well, she's just outside the British record, but she can come back really well in 5, and this is a good swim. She had a really good 200 fly, 5th on the 200 fly, so this is still possible. Coming back very fast is McInnes in 4. Also still going well is Ocaro in 2. This can still go anywhere, this one. The final of the women's 100 fly. 4 and 5 it looks like. In 4 is McInnes, 5 it's Grieve. Who's going to get the touch? Oh my word, it's close. Oh my goodness, 6/100ths of a second. Gold to silver. Kiana McInnes wins gold. Lucy Grieve the silver. And another tie, a tie for bronze. 58.46 between Eva Acaro and Emily Richards. When I said the medals could go anywhere, I didn't expect it to be quite that close. Goodness me, what a fantastic final 50 that was from Kiana McInnes. She was nowhere with 30 metres to go.
Yeah, in this event, you have to practice every element of the event. Kiana won that with fingernails bared. You know, that was such a good finish from Lucy and Kiana. Kiana did come back strong out in that last 25, though. What a fantastic swim.
What a great meet she's had. Gold on the 200, now gold on the 100. And I think it was it her that was the one that was the potential? They still haven't quite managed to be allowed to name her as the selected additional athlete, the 21st athlete. So I think it's still Kiana McInnes that is still to be confirmed as selected for that team, but surely with that gold on the 100 and gold on the 200, that's a great swim. It really is. Well, Betty Glover now speaking to those medalists. Let's hear what she got to say.
Well, we thought before that race that gold medal could go anywhere. Well, it went to Kiana. Well done. Another gold medal. How pleased are you with your swim out there?
Yeah, probably not as fast as I'd like to have moved on. A little bit bittersweet. Me and Lucy Grieve trained together, and you know, I also really wanted her on the plane to Singapore. But yeah, it was a good swim. I'm really pleased with that.
You say it's not as fast as you could have gone. Why do you reckon that was? Is there anything that you could have done better out there?
Maybe just a bit tense, to be honest. I thought the heat felt a little bit easier, and yeah, I think maybe just a bit over tense and raining a bit much, but yeah.
Well, congratulations. Everybody give it up for Kiana, Lucy, Eva and Emily.
Well, I got my McGill's and my McInnes mixed up, I'm afraid. I can tell you, delighted to tell you that Kiana McInnes, of course, is going. That excellent 200 metres butterfly she swam and backed it up there with 100. And on the 200, she went under the qualification time. So by rights, absolutely, she's going. It was Holly McGill who came second underneath the consideration time. So I think, in theory, the selectors still need to consider. Got the medals around her neck. Still need to consider it, but I'm sure she'll be going, Holly McGill, and she'll be joining Kiana McInnes. What a great swim that was. Acaro. Wow, she's having a fabulous meet. Gold on the 50 fly, gold on the 50 freestyle. Now it's bronze on the 100 fly. Tie for bronze. Emily Richards and Eva Acaro. The silver to Lucy Grieve. Well done her. And now, there you go. This is great stuff, isn't it? It's a family affair on the medal podium for the women's 100 metres butterfly. It's Kiana's sister, Orla McInnes, presenting the medals. Gold to Kiana McInnes, silver to Lucy Grieve, and a tie for bronze, Eva Acaro and Emily Richards. And less than half a second split those first 4. 6/100 split the top 2. Wow. There they are. Well, it's all fair and love and war, isn't it? They big rivals beforehand, but then having a good old chat afterwards. Used to chat a lot to your competitors, I suppose, when you're on the top of the block, Dan. It's still to come here. There's the men's 200 metres breaststroke, the junior final, the British Open final, and then we got that men's 50 freestyle. Can't wait for that, got to tell you. That's going to be absolute firecrackers. Then in the women's 200 AM. But again, the juniors, the powers, and then the British Open final. It's Dan, sorry, I was just in the middle of asking you a question there when that caption came out. So, did you used to chat much with your competitors? I mean, right here in the ready room, nobody really likes to chat too much. Or did you?
Oh, I did. I was a nervous talker.
You're the one.
I was, yeah.
Surely not. Do you speak Welsh then? What is that?
To throw them off?
Yes.
They wouldn't be able to understand me.
See,
why didn't I think of that?
You should have come and talked to me. I tell you, I could have helped you a lot. The Welsh comeback needs to happen, I've got to tell you. Junior final men's 200 metres breaststroke. Wilfred Lee in 1 for Millfield. Lucas Lovell in 2. Portsmouth North Sea. Tyler Stone of Norwich is going in 3 in this junior final. The men's 200 breaststroke. In 4, it's Charlie Rogers. Frederick Beasley in 5. There we go from Poole Swimming Club. Jacob Barnett in 6. William Shepherd of Cardiff in 7. And William Tonks of Repton in lane 8. Well, the junior consideration time is pretty quick, 2:14.5. They can do it, but they've got to do huge lifetime best to achieve that.
6 of these lads came into this final tonight with PBs from this morning.
6 PBs from this morning. Well, they've got to do another serious PB to go 2:14. That's such a hard cut, I've got to say. There's a couple of juniors in the final, though. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them, including Philip Navaki, second fastest seed. He's already got 2 bronze in the senior finals, as well as a junior final in the 200 IM. You've also got Max Morgan, of course, in that big final coming up. And he won the 50 metres gold, silver on the 100. So it's going to be quite a final, that, with some big-time juniors in. First 30 metres of this junior final of the men's 200 metres breaststroke, and started well, actually, up in lane 8, I think it is, closest to us. Looks like William Tonks of Repton. Actually, first to 30 years, and that's a crowd pleaser, isn't it? My word, he's about 0.6 of a second ahead of the 50.
We know William Tonks has a very good first 100. He won the 100 breaststroke junior final earlier this week. He won also the 50 breaststroke junior final. Can he sweep all the breaststrokes?
He's certainly giving it a shot here, and we've talked about tactics and making sure you save enough for the second 100, and breaststroke is one of those events where if you do use your legs a little bit too much early on, it really hurts, but this is impressive. Look at the distance per stroke he's getting. Boom! Lovely glide. Really nice glide into that wall. Hits it well as well. 65.4. That's 2 seconds faster than he went this morning. That's really quite special. Very good indeed.
Yeah, he's looking great. And you said about the leg kick. Now, breaststroke is a very leg-dominant stroke, so it is very important to bring the knees up to your bum, bring your feet up to your bum, sorry, without creating too much drag with your knees.
Well, they're starting to charge in the centre now. The yellow hat in lane 5 is Frederick Beasley of Poole. Charlie Rogers coming back in that bright orange hat. And also, look, right at the top there. Right at the top in lane 1 is also going Wilfred Lee of Millfield. But look how far ahead he is with 50 metres to go. William Tonks, this is an awesome swim. Lifetime best 2:22. He could destroy that here.
Yeah, he's coming down this last 50 with such strength. He's powering on ahead. This is a great swim from William Tonks.
4 seconds faster than this morning on that 150 metres turn. He's getting tired, going very well at the top there is Wilfred Lee of Millfield, and they're charging in the centre as well. Charlie Rogers is having a go, but this is a brilliant swim from William Tonks of Repton. Tonks of Repton from lane 8, slowest qualifier, wins the junior final of the men's 200 metres breaststroke, wins the junior final in a 2:18.8. with his best time of 2:22 and a heat time of 2:23. 5 seconds improvement from this morning, and a 4-second lifetime best from lane 8, winning the junior final. Wow!
It's great to see a winner from an outside lane. There is this saying that, like, if you're on the outside lane, you know, you're not seen as a chance to win it, but if you've got a lane, Andy, you've got a chance. We've said that a few times this week, and as we've just seen, taking it from lane 8, William Tonks from Repton, 2nd, Wilfred Lee, and 3rd, Charlie Rogers. What a great swim from William from an outside lane.
Wow, that was amazing. Really amazing. What a race that was. That was outstanding. Now, well, just this morning, straight after Greg Butler did have a good old chat with Betty. Let's hear what she had to say.
Greg, thanks for joining us. How did you feel out there?
Yeah, felt good. It was pretty comfortable. It was a good time. Looking forward to tonight, yeah.
Well, you're confirmed for Singapore for the 100-metre breast in the medley relay, aren't you? Does that sort of change anything for you? Does that change how you approach this?
Maybe like a little bit less pressure, but I'm still just going to want to execute a good race tonight. Yeah, put it together well.
What do you want to do out there tonight? What's the plan?
Well, see how close to the time I can get and just hopefully get the win again. That'll be nice, yeah.
Perfect. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Well, he wants to win again, and what a race he swam. I was so pleased for him. Any time that you break a massive barrier is so important, and he went sub-60 for the first time in his life. And I was talking to Adam Peaty a little bit about that kind of stuff, and he said he thought that once these guys do break that 60, the floodgates are going to open and all sorts of stuff can happen. And here, Josh English from Mount Kelly had a really good beat so far. Lifetime best to qualify for this final, 2:17.4. He made the big final of the 100 metres breaststroke as well. He's in the 200. Oscar Bilbao with his Sun Devils tracksuit on, representing Repton. He's in lane 1. And then Max Morgan, winner of the 50 metres breaststroke. Silver on the 100. I've got to say, I thought he had the gold there, but just got pipped by Greg Butler. Great swim that was. Freeman in 2 from Loughborough. Christian Ryan from University of Bath goes in 6. Here he is. And then the big boys, the fastest 3 in the centre. George Smith coming out, bronze medalist on the 400 IM, swimming in this 200 breaststroke final. So important for those medleys to have a good breaststroke. And well, here he is. Now Navaki, what can he do? Bronze on the 50, bronze on the 100. Can he go better than that? Can he go 1 better and get a silver? Can he go 2 better and get a gold? Well, he's going to Singapore as Greg Butler right in the centre. Won the gold on the individual 100 breaststroke. Didn't do the consideration time for the individual 100 breast, but the times from each of the stroke 100s, the fly, the back, the breast and the free, added up to faster than the time that was set by the selectors for that 4x1 medley relay. So by rights, he is going to Singapore for the World Championships this summer. What a race this is, Dan. Where's this going to go?
I think it's going to go Greg Butler's way, but he's not. I think he's not going to be far off that 209. His PB is 2:10.48. 209.55 is the Singapore time. He's swimming well this week, Andy. He could do this.
He certainly could. I think there's a couple of guys who might get close. I think if somebody is going to get close to it, he's going to have somebody go with him. Swimming on your own, I think, would be really tough. There's a couple of juniors in this final as well, and they can make their European junior consideration time if they don't do the senior one. 2:14.5 for that. It's the A final, the big final of the men's 200 metres breaststroke. Right in the centre, Greg Butler, gold medalist on the 100, is the fastest seed. And in 7, the silver medalist on the 100 is Max Morgan. And they've all started pretty well. It looks like it's Morgan, 1 lane from the bottom here, started well, but Butler in the black hat, that lovely high recovery position, dives into the stroke, and then that beautiful glide almost surfs off his hand in front of him, and he's going to be first to turn at the 50.
Yeah, Greg was first up from the dive, but he was in front also. 29.22, finishing the first 50, Greg Butler. He's looking strong, Andy. He's coming down his second 50 really strong. He's pulling away from the field. I think the other boys are watching him, especially Christian Ryan in lane 6.
Well, he was 62.3 at the 100 metres turn last year. Let's see where he's going to go here. 62.3. So at the Olympic trials. 62.1, so he's 2/10 ahead of that. That's good. So first to turn at the halfway mark is Greg Butler. Second was Philip Navaki. Third was Max Morgan down here in the blue hat. Also going well up there in lane 3 is George Smith of University of Stirling.
Holding on to Greg Butler is Philip Nowaki. He's swimming very well, 2 lanes over Max Morgan. He's really coming back strong as well. Who wants it more on this last 50? Greg Butler looking very strong.
Well, he's done the job to 150, that's certainly true. Can he bring it back here? That's a qualification time for an individual swim. It's mighty hard, 209.55. Don't forget there's some junior qualification times you can do here, but Navaki's coming back.
Yeah, Greg Butler here charging down the finish in 25. He can hear the crowd every time he comes up to breathe, so this crowd is really egging him on for this last 20.
So Greg Butler, can he go under 2:10? This is a really good swim. His lifetime best is 2:10.48, so we're asking a lot. Navaki coming back quickly as well in 5 in the green hat of Millfield. Very good swim indeed. Butler gets the goal, 2:10.17. Just outside of that qualification time, but a new lifetime best to take his second national title. He won the 100 metres breaststroke. Now he's won the 200 breaststroke. A very good swim indeed from Greg Butler. New lifetime best in this men's 200 metres breaststroke. The silver's gone to, who is it? Philip Navaki, 2:11.0. Well, that is outstanding for him. 2 bronze and now a silver, and way underneath the junior qualification time of 2:14. He went 2:11.0. And George Smith, the bronze, 2:12.6. And for him, that is right on his lifetime best. What a final that was.
I know this was a 200-metre race, Andy, but I think if it was a 220-metre race, I think Philippe Nowacki could have won that. He was charging up on Greg Butler. I thought he put fins on for the last 20.
Well, the future's very bright for these youngsters, isn't it? He's born in 2007 in October, so there he is on the left-hand side. I'm sure he'll be going to the European Juniors, where that's a cracking swim from Navaki, but no doubts about the winner. Greg Butler wins gold on the men's 200 metres breaststroke, 2:10.17. Navaki the silver, and the bronze to George Smith of Stirling. And those 3 medalists now talking to Betty Glover.
Another brilliant race. Greg, you are 0.3 faster than you were at the Olympic trials last year, so things are moving in the right direction for you.
Yeah, definitely. I've been training really well. I'm really happy with my swims I've done here, yeah. It's been moving forward well.
You were just under that Singapore individual qualifying time, but obviously you're already going to Singapore in the medley relay anyway. Was there anything that you could make a tiny little change to just to improve that time a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's never the perfect swim. I think there's a bit more I could have done on the back end, but no, overall I'm happy with that, yeah.
All right, brilliant. Well done. Congratulations also to Philip and George.
Well, he certainly set himself up wonderfully well to the 150, didn't he? And having won the gold on the 100, I would imagine the 100 was more of a target coming into these championships, not only because I think it's probably a slightly better event, but also because of that medley relay.
That medley relay has got a very good chance in Singapore, so I think I agree with you. Like, he will really want to get on that team, which he already has. So it is nice. He can relax going into the rest of this meet now. He was probably relaxed tonight.
Well, he did look relaxed and swam very well, as did that young man, Philip Navaki. Brilliant from him. Well, Greg Butler's mum, Becky Butler, presenting him with the gold medal and the national title in this men's 200 breaststroke. Greg in the centre, Philip Navaki on the left-hand side of that shot, and George Smith. Well, he won the bronze in 2:12.6, right on his lifetime best time. What a great final that was. Goodness me, well, it's been thick and fast. I've got to ask you a question, though, coming up. The next race here is the 50 metres freestyle. And what a set of heats we had this morning. And, well, as expected, pre-selected Olympic silver medalist Ben Proud goes in the final in the centre lane, but he's not in the fastest lane because Jacob Mills goes in fastest. Jacob Mills, goodness me.
Yeah, Jacob's having a fantastic meet this week. He already won the silver in the 100 freestyle. 50 is a very different event than 100 freestyle. Obviously, 100 is double the distance, but he's got the speed.
He certainly does have the speed, and I think 50 metres events worldwide are going to totally change now with that announcement from the International Olympic Committee that 50s fly, back and breast are now going to be on the Olympic programme. Don't know why it's taken them 25 years to add it. It's been on the World Championship programme for 25 years, and now, only now, but LA, fireworks in LA, surely.
with the size of most stadiums, Andy, it's going to be, the roof is going to be rising with that crowd.
45,000 baying Americans going to be cheering the sprint events. Goodness me, if that doesn't get you up for a quick time, absolutely nothing will. Speaking of quick times, here's the junior final of the men's 50 metres freestyle. This should be fun. There's some quick guys in here. And of course, there is a junior in the 8th final in lane 4, fastest seed. Wow. So, Joseph Way of Mount Kelly in 1. In 2, it's Zechariah Dale of Repton. Some fabulous school programmes, aren't there? In 3, it's Gabriel Shepherd of City of Leeds. He had a super meet at the European Juniors last year. And who's to say he's not going to go again? Matthew Hamilton of Plymouth College Aquatics, another school, as is Rio Dowdu in lane 5 for Mount Kelly. Jack Brown of Plymouth Leander in 6. Jensen Norris of Perth City, he goes in 7. And Ethan Soppet Moss of Corby in 8. Well, the target, I think, surely, Dan, must be sub 23 seconds. They're all very close indeed, but 23.01, the fastest seed. Can they go 22?
Well, I think so. Coming into this race tonight, every single person either had a season's best or a personal best.
And if they're going to go to European juniors, they've got to go sub 23.
22.72. Whew, that is rapid, Andy.
It certainly is. 4 of the 8 finalists train in Devon. All 8 did lifetime bests or season's best. It is the junior final of the men's 50 free. Fastest seed in 4 is Matt Hamilton of Plymouth.
Take your marks.
Junior final men's 50 metres freestyle here at this 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. My word, look at the white water here. This is absolutely all in a line. Right up there in lane 1, Joseph Way had a very good start, but coming back in the centre now. Maybe in 3, it's Gabriel Shepherd in that yellow hat. Also going well in 6 is Jack Brown. Brown of Plymouth Leander. Who's going to get the touch? Maybe it's 3, I think, is it? No, it's 6. It's Jack Brown gets the touch. 22.71. And we said, please go under 23. And if you can, go under 22.72, which is the European junior time. 22.72 is the European junior time, and he's gone 22.71. Good lad. Well done, Jack Brown. What a swim. And we wanted a couple of 22s. We've had 4 of them. Jack Brown wins it. Gabriel Shepherd 22.78, just 7 100ths back. Matt Hamilton 3rd and Joseph Way 4th and Mount Kelly, all under 23. Wow.
I have to pick up on Matthew Hamilton there. He didn't have the best start. He was a little bit behind. He came up quite sharp, which means he couldn't use the momentum from the dive in his first stroke. So for him to come back and win bronze, that was excellent.
Well, I've got to say, I thought that Gabe Shepherd's arm was going in first from Leeds in 3, but Jack Brown finished so well.
And here we see the result of the men's 50 freestyle junior final. Jack Brown, 22.71, amazing swim. Gabriel Shepherd third at 2nd, and Matthew Hamilton in 3rd.
Well, he's just walked past us and he's like a Cheshire cat. Biggest smile I've seen on face for quite a long time, and the reason is because his winning time there, as you can see, 22.71, 1/100th inside that junior European qualification time. Oh, take a breath, past the commentary to Paul Noble for this next event. It is the MC 50 metres freestyle multi-classification.
Thanks, Andy. Here they come for this multi-classification 50 freestyle. Harvey Phillips leads them out. Harvey Phillips in the lowest numerical class. He swims in the S4 classification. Swimming with a physical impairment, so for Harvey Phillips, as is Bruce D. He swims in the S6 class. Bruce D on the other side of the pool. Owen Say is the next one. We will see just over the 30-second mark for Owen Say. He swims in the S8 classification. Next to come out will be Thomas Navarro-Barber. Good time in qualification. He's in the S9 class, and he was the one who had most multi-classification points in the 100 freestyle and in the 400, so he's looking for the freestyle treble. Rowan Brennan's been in great form this week as well. Rowan Brennan, 26.57. Around about half a second outside his personal best in qualification. Kieran Williams, he was on the medal podium earlier in the freestyle events. He goes in lane number 5. Again, another swimmer around about half a second outside his lifetime best. And in the centre, Matthew Redfern, a visually impaired swimmer in the S13 classification. He is the British record holder at 25.25. And he had the highest number of points out of anyone in this qualification, 721 points. You watch his sister do very well, Rebecca Redfern, in the 50 freestyle in the women's multi-classification event earlier in the week. Here is the lineup for 50 metres freestyle men's multi-classification. Visually impaired swimmer Matthew Redfern in the centre, all the others with physical impairments. Remember, S1 to S10. Those with physical impairments, S1 being the most severe impairment, S10 being the least. And again, it's all about the points. Times for the swimmers will be compared against the standard time for their classification, which is roughly equivalent to world record time. If that world record is an old world record, out of date, it is based on a world ranking time, which is why we saw a time in excess of 1,000 points before for Faye Rogers.
Take your marks.
Matthew Redfern in lane number 4 will be the favourite for this one. I'd expect him to be out ahead of the others to try and challenge that British record. He was a Paris Paralympian, integral part of the Great Britain relay team. He's being pressed by the orange cap of Rowan Brennan. This is going to be very tight indeed. Redfern will try to get under that British record, 25.25. He's going to be close. 25.63 for Matthew Redfern. And I think that is just about going to be enough. You see the points totals there. 742 points for Redfern. Let's watch the other swimmers coming in. Harvey Phillips will be the only one to challenge it. He has to go a little bit faster than he went in the heats this morning. 49.28 for Harvey. And he does improve that, but it's 379 points for Harvey Phillips from Manchester Performance. It's a good close contest at the front of the field. Matthew Redfern improved his time from the qualification heat. He's delighted to get a late call up for Paris for the Paralympic Games last year, and the relay team performed really well, getting 4th place just outside the medals. Matt Redfern will be looking to build towards the major championships towards LA in 2028 for the para swimmers. Redfern out ahead. Picked that wall, that finished pretty well at the wall for a visual impaired swimmer. Counted his strokes well there. Matthew Redfern, 742 points for him. Takes it ahead of Thomas Navarro-Barber, who adds another medal to his tally this week. Rowan Brennan in 3rd space in terms of points. Good swim from Kieran Williams and a good swim from Bruce D as well, improving his time from the heats this morning. So well done, Matthew Redfern. He will be delighted with that one. Just half a second or so outside his British record time. And he's now with Betty Glover on poolside.
Yeah, congratulations to Matthew Redfern, who's got gold. Matthew, earlier in the week, you were 4th in the 100 free. You've got gold in the 50. You're top of the podium. That must feel pretty good.
Yeah, no, it feels really good. The 100 earlier in the week, it was bittersweet because I'd gone faster heats to finals, but just about missed out on the podium. I think these two pushed me off it, actually. So it's good to be back up here again with these lot. And, yeah, top of the podium, really good feeling.
In a 50, there is just no room for error at all, is there? Because it is just so incredibly fast. Have you been working on those small little skills to be able to try and execute it?
This morning in the heat, we said that the start wasn't quite as it should have been. So that might have been the slight improvement that we had to make. So it's really tenths of seconds that give you tens and tens of points. So.
It is, of course, but well done. Congratulations. You've done it, that gold medal. Also give it up for Thomas and Rowan.
Well done, Matt Redfern. Let's hope to see him in the GB team in future years. Good to be building up the visually impaired swimmers in this country. We've certainly got a big contingent of visually impaired swimmers here at these championships, which is great. Ed Fain from Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park making these medal presentations. Rowan Brennan has had a good week, 26.05 for him, that's a personal best. Thomas Navarro-Barber, 26.54, that's a personal best. Just outside his British record. Only by a small margin, 0.3 of a second. Matthew Redfern, he will take the title. It was close, 12 points in it, but Redfern is your British champion.
Well, everyone loves a 50 metres freestyle. Fantastic to see so many lifetime bests from those para-athletes. Well done. Well done to all of them. Well, I've got to say, really looking forward to the next final. It is, for me, the big one. It's the men's 50 metres freestyle final. In that, we've got Ben Proud, who won that wonderful silver medal at the Olympic Games in Paris. I'm delighted to say that Betty Glover caught up with him after his heat this morning.
Ben, back in the pool, the first time that you've been in this week. How did that feel?
Yeah, it was good. Good to, spending 5 days watching everyone race and then getting in. You have always a little bit of apprehension, trying to, gauge how you are. But, it's good to get some done. And it's quite nice going to the final second.
Yeah, how does that... Yeah, because you're not used to that usually, are you? But Jacob Mills put out one hell of a swim. Yeah,
I mean, that's what I've been looking forward to this week, is all the youngsters coming through. And I think he's having a standout meet, so, really impressive. Give it a good go tonight. Get some caffeine in me and, yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, he might push you a little bit tonight.
Yeah, but I'm here for the challenges. I want to make it hard for myself. And it's going to be good to have a group of guys all pushing that 22 barrier. And, yeah, it's just a good race.
Love it. Well, we'll look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, he's looking a bit hairy there, Dan.
Yeah, before British champs, I would always want to shave down. I'm quite a hairless person anyway. I'm walking around looking like a dolphin. But yeah, if I was Ben, I probably would have shaved my chest a little bit there.
Well, it's good if you can go sub 22. Oh, look at Burris. Wow, look at this. Great to see him in the final. He only got in the final because Matt Richards, Olympic silver medalist, double Olympic gold medalist, withdrew from this final. Great to see him in. Now he's got a lane. Now he's got a chance. See what he can do. Maddox Roberts of Loughborough University goes in lane 1. Lifetime best to qualify for this final. And Jacob Whittle, he could medal here. Burris could definitely medal. Whittle in 7 next to Burris. This is going to be a phenomenal final. You tell me now where the medals are going to go, I'd bite your hand off because I've got no idea. Certainly the big two in the centre must be favourites, but honestly, anyone can get one here. Jordan Cooley goes in 2 from Leeds University Aquatics. His best time, 22.2, set a season's best to qualify for this final. Alexander Painter with his Florida Gators top on, giving it the old Gator clap, representing Millfield School here. He's the 4th fastest seed. They're going to have to go sub 22 if they want to win, that's for certain. Alex Cahoon, he can go fast. His lifetime best, 21.9. He was 22.2 this morning and looked good. Not on the team yet. Just missing out on the individual 100 metres freestyle. This is his only chance. Now, Olympic silver medalist, and in winning that Olympic silver, he completed his set. He's got medals, individual medals at all the majors, Olympics, Worlds, Europeans, Commonwealth Games. He's an absolute superstar. He's Olympic silver medalist. He's Ben Proud, and his British record, 21.11. And the new pretender, what can he do? Look at this. Didn't expect that. Jacob Mills. Wow, this is going to be great. Silver on the 100 metres freestyle. Very nearly went sub 48. 21.96 this morning. Lifetime best to qualify fastest. The audacity ahead of Ben Proud.
Yeah. Jacob is having a great week this week. He's already won the silver in 100 freestyle. Can he halve it and win and take the gold?
Well, he certainly can. And Ben Proud doesn't look like he's shaved and fully rested here. So let's see how he can go. He is, on his day, unbeatable. Proud in 5 with that white bullet hat. There's Jacob Mills in 4. Giving himself a good slap down there. Wow.
Anyone watching this back home, I wouldn't blink, because it's going to be over if you do.
The big final of the men's 50 metres freestyle. Anything could happen here. Let's watch the start of Ben Proud, one of the best in the world when he gets it right. Outstanding. The white hat in the centre. There he is.
Take your marks.
Oh, a great reaction to the gun from Proud in 5, as did Jacob Mills in 4. Well, possibly even a better start from Painter in 6. This is quick, it's very quick indeed. Proud now getting into his stroke. It's a no-breather from Proud here. He will not breathe down this full 50. Oh, he looks very good indeed. As long as he can keep this going, the gold is his. Mills coming back at him in 4, but 5, I think it's going to be Proud than it is. 21.67. That's an outstanding time when he's pre-selected. Didn't need to do the time of 21.88. But he's destroyed that by 21.100, which on a 50 is an awful long way. And the good news for me is Jacob Mills, he's consolidated that sub-22 with another one. He's gone 21.99 this time. Alexander Painter 3rd, 22.01 with Cahoon 4th. Jacob Whittle 5th. Wow, what a swim that was. He hit his start, but then that second 25 was awesome.
Awesome from Ben, but I just have to pick up on Ben's start. When they said take your marks, he really pulled back as if he was going to shoot off like an arrow, and he hit the water like when he propelled through it. Look at that, and the underwater work, really, he's flying there.
And then this middle phase coming into 15 to go now, but head down, didn't breathe at all. Look at that. Oh. Stunning, absolutely stunning. So Ben Proud, yet again national champion, and that SG top right says it's a qualification time for the World Championship team for Singapore. He already was on the team from the pre-selection to our Olympic individual medalists. Wow, let's hear what he's got to say to Betty Glover. What a great swim from Ben Proud.
I hope nobody blinked during that, because if you did, you would have missed it. It was that fast. Everyone give it up for our medalists. Come on then, let's talk to you, Ben. How was that for you? Did you execute that exactly how you wanted to?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. You know, I got everything I wanted after today. You know, some in-season swimming under pressure, and you know, it's not often it happens from a 17-year-old. So, you know, top things coming from this guy on the right, and yeah, it's been a good day.
You don't breathe through that at all, do you? And your start is so phenomenal. You're known for your good starts. Talk us through the no breathing.
Yeah, it's just something I've done my entire career. I think when you get into the 50s, everything has to be about gearing towards going fast. And for me, breathing just doesn't do that.
Commentary were fascinated by the fact that you haven't shaved down for this. So obviously in the 50s, it's all about those little margins. Have you got more in the tank?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wanted a challenge today, and you know, the big one is this summer, and just going to use this as a gauge for the rest of the season.
Well, you got under that Singapore time. You were going anyway, but you will be doing it in the summer. Jacob Mills, I want to come and speak to you, because to get that time as a junior is pretty amazing. How did you feel out there? And also, what was it like chasing that man down?
Well, racing Ben is an absolute honour. It's honestly one of the best 50 freestylers out there, so it's an honour to race him tonight. A few things went wrong in that for me, so there's some things to work on in the future, but yeah, I'm happy.
What went wrong?
Just on the start, my hands are a bit apart, so tweak that and hopefully go a bit faster, but yeah.
Tweak that, then you might beat him.
Who knows?
Everybody give it up for our medalists, Ben, Jacob and Alex.
Really is a bit of a hairy beast, isn't he? There's an awful lot of time can come off that when he shaves, when he rests and tapers. It's great to see that, really exciting. Such a lovely guy. And, well, I've said it a couple of times in my life before, but if you had a piece of Italian marble, you'd probably stick him on a plinth and try and replicate the physique that is Ben Proud. It's absolutely wonderful. And here, well, it's a proud moment for his mother, Sally Proud, presenting the medals to the medalists in this men's 50 metres freestyle. The bronze going to Alex Painter. Here's the silver to Jacob Mills. He's really got to bend down to get that round his neck. He's huge. And the gold medalist yet again. And he's won the Commonwealth Games, he's won the Europeans, he's won the World Championships, silver in Paris. And he's just won the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. He'll be going to Singapore for that World Championships and getting the medal from his mum, Sally. Wonderful stuff. So powerful, so strong. So impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Ben he's definitely going to leave a legacy behind him, but he really is a gentle giant, Ben. I've shared a room with Ben a few times. I shared a room with him in the prep camp for the Tokyo Olympics, and he is just a genuinely lovely guy. I couldn't be happier for him.
Outside of the race, do you think he ever gets his heart rate above about 60? He doesn't say, nothing seems to faze the guy. Amazing. Well, next race up is the women's junior 200 individual medley. And the fastest seed is in lane number 4, Susie McNair of University of Stirling. They're having a good meet quietly. University of Stirling keep on pumping the swimmers in those centre lanes. Very good from them. So in lane 8 we've got Medley Collier, the slowest seed, and in 1 it's Lydia Cordell of Repton. And then going 7.2.6.3.5.4 into the centre. The fastest seed there is McNair, Susie McNair. Evie Mackey's had a good meter as well from Lanark. 4th in the junior final, 400 IM. This could be very interesting. Oh, serious there, isn't she? That is Susie McNair. Evie Mackey in 5. Fabulous flexibility, no shoulders, gracious me. Great to see these juniors swimming in these evening sessions, the finals, and they will have warmed up with the same lane, the same swimmers as such as Abby Wood, Katie Shanahan, Leah Schlosser, Laura Stevens. They've all been swimming tonight. How fun would that be for a junior? This is the 200 IM junior final. So 50 fly, back breast and freestyle. Susie McNair right in the centre, and lane 4 is the fastest seed. She's had a decent start in 4, 5 and 6. Really off that wall well. That's McNair, Mackey and Hopwood.
Yeah, that's a great start from the middle 3 here. Now, in a 200 medley, you really have to work your stronger stroke. For these girls, fly could be it, back could be it, but you really have to push your strengths like a superpower in this event. Everyone's got a weak stroke, and your weak stroke could be someone else's strength. So you really have to work your strengths like a superpower, as I just said.
Well, super strength in lane number 4, 28.9 for the 50 fly splits. Very good indeed. Only a couple sub-30, but a full second ahead after that fly leg, ahead of the majority of the field. And McNair's got a good backstroke as well. She's actually got clear water between her feet and the hands of the next swimmer, and that is up in lane number 1, Lydia Cordell of Repton. So the halfway mark here in this junior final of the women's 200 IM. Over first by quite a long way is Susie McNair from Cordell. Up there in 1, and 3rd is Evie Mackey of Lanark.
Great turn there from Susie as well. She really is pushing out the head. She was very quick around the wall, so you've got to treat the wall as if it's boiling hot. You do not want to be on it for very long. But pulling into this second 25 of the breaststroke, she's not slowing down at all. I think every stroke is a strong stroke.
Well, it certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Maybe they're just trying to have a go now, but she had such a lead after that flying back. This is very good indeed. Well, she's got a lifetime best, a little bit faster than the rest of the swimmers, 2:17.6. She went to 18.7 this morning, so that was a good swim, and she can do it off this. She's got to come back in, well, 33.5. If she can come back under 33.5, she can do a lifetime best, 2.5 faster than this morning at the 150 mark. She can do it here. Come on.
She can do it. She's looking to her left, so I think she can see Holly Hopwood not catching her, though. She knows she's got clear water going to this last 10.
So Susie McNair of University of Stirling is going to win this junior final comfortably. Can she go a lifetime best? 2:17.62, 2:16.76, 9/10 of a second inside a lifetime best. Well done, Susie McNair from University of Stirling. Well done. Wow, that was great. Second up there in lane 1 as well. She really attacked it, the 15-year-old, and swam wonderfully well all the way through. In fact, she's still only 14, Lydia Cordwell from Repton. 14, second in the junior final. And Petra Varga in third from Wirral Metro. That's a great swim too. Golly. Well, 2:17.23 is the junior consideration time, and Susie McNair has just gone 2:16.7, so underneath the junior consideration time for the women's 200 AM in winning that junior final. Well done. At European Juniors in Slovakia in July. And she's just done a consideration time. Lydia Cordwell second and Petra Varga third.
Lydia Cordwell is 15 years old and she just went 2:90.
Unbelievable. Really fantastic stuff. In fact, she's not even had a 15th birthday. It was 15 up on our screen, but still to have that, it's amazing. Well, the paras coming out now, and the quality of these para swimmers here at this championship is quite extraordinary. And again, Paul can take us through this women's 200 IM para final.
And just saw another 14-year-old there, Andy, coming out. Iona Winifred just had her birthday last week. Brooke Weston in the outside lane. Well, she is the Paralympic champion. Can she get under that Singapore qualifying standard? She would love to do that here tonight in this multi-class final. Brooklyn Hale has been fantastic form this week. Brooklyn Hale from Cockermouth. Can she get another best time like she did in the heats this morning? Megan Willis, she had a fantastic heat time as well. There's Tony Shaw, 4th place in the Paralympic Games in Paris. She's recently back in the water. Interesting to see what she can do. Georgia Sheffield, fantastic backstroke swimmer. Watch out for her on the backstroke element of this individual medley. And there's Faye Rogers, very much the informed swimmer this week. British record in the heat. Can she improve that tonight? 2:31.00. And there is, well, the great Bethany Firth, 6 times a Paralympic gold medalist. She became a mother last August for the first time. Missed the Paris Paralympic Games. 8 months later, she's back, fastest in this, the women's multi-classification 200 IM. There's Bethany Firth in the centre lane, lane 4. Faye Rogers next to her. They could pace each other. Well, Bethany Firth is a British record holder at 2:19. Now, a standard that she has to achieve for Singapore is 2:24.89. Well, extremely successful Paralympian. She was the most successful British Paralympian in the Rio Games in 2016. Had another hatful of medals in Tokyo in 2021. She's pacing very well alongside Faye Rogers. Bethany thought she went out a little bit too hard this morning, paid for it in the closing stages, but we'll just keep an eye on this pace. Faye Rogers has been in great form, British record in the heats, and she seems to be breaking records every time that she is in the water. We will keep an eye on the outside lanes as well later on. Iona Winifred and Brock Whiston, both of them chasing Singapore qualification times, so don't forget about them. They could have big points totals as well. The two in the middle, though, probably are going to be the favourites for the title in terms of disability points. Firth has gone out in 106.67. Might be a little bit happier with that split than she did this morning. Faye Rogers has gone out a little bit faster than she went this morning, so on British record pace for Faye Rogers. But here comes Bethany Firth. What a story it would be 8 months after giving birth to her daughter Charlotte, and she is back in the water and trying to qualify for the World Championships. What a fantastic story this would be for Bethany Firth. She has been one of Great Britain's top Paralympians over the last decade or so. It'd be wonderful to see her back in the GB team. Can she do it? It's a tough ask for Bethany Firth, especially in an event like the 200 metres individual medley. Faye Rogers is inside British record pace again, but here comes Bethany Firth. Can she dip under that 2:24 time? It's going to be a tough ask for Bethany Firth. She is giving it a real good go. 15 to go, though. I think it might just slip by for Bethany Firth. And she's coming in now, 2:22, 2:23 is very close indeed. What a swim from Bethany Firth. Faye Rogers is in 2:28, and that is an incredible British record for Bethany Firth. Let's have a look at the swimmers coming in now. Tony Shaw in 2:41. Tony Shaw, Paralympic bronze medalist, and Brock Whiston. What a swim from Brock Whiston there in the outside lane. I said watch out for her. And here comes Iona Winifred, the 14-year-old. Can she get inside her own British record of 3:03.25? You know what? She certainly can, the young swimmer. Iona Winifred. Well, where to look? All across the pool. Bethany Firth was first into the wall, and she will get 889 points, and that will be good enough for the bronze medal. Faye Rogers, a British record, and she will be good enough for the silver medal. But Brock Whiston, 2:42 for Brock Whiston. 2:42.25 is only 0.1 of a second outside the qualification standards for Singapore. So really close from Brock Whiston. 921 points for the Paralympic champion, though. She just pips Faye Rogers. A British record for Faye Rogers, and a British record for Iona Winifred, the young 14-year-old as well, with 814 points. Well, what a race here from the para swimmers. I didn't know where to look all across the pool. Different classifications, different records to aim for, and different qualification standards to look for as well. But what quality field from these women. 921 points for Brock Whiston. Oh, she'll be gutted to miss out by the smallest of margins there, 0.15. Faye Rogers taking that. Another British record. That's incredible for Faye. And Bethany Firth back in the water again, 8 months after giving birth to her daughter Charlotte. Well, unbelievable. Unbelievable to have her back in the water.
Paul, 2 points splitting those top two. How much is that in time?
Well, it depends on the classification, Andy, but it's hundreds. It's absolutely hundreds. It's different for each classification based on that standard time. But yeah, very, very marginal in terms of time. You see people that get the same number of points and they're split by about 100, 200ths of a second, so it's absolutely nothing.
Maybe a stupid question, but do they tie for the medal then?
If you're the same classification and you have a different time, you don't tie for the medal. If you're a different classification and you have the same points total, you do tie for the medal.
There you go. Amazing.
And the medalists are now down with Betty on poolside.
Wow, what a race. We've had British records going all over the place. But Brock Whiston, congratulations. You are the gold medalist. I know you're really emotional right now because you just got under the time. But you are British champion. That is a phenomenal achievement.
Yeah, I mean... I should be happy, but we have a job to do when we come here, and unfortunately the job's not to win medals here. The job for us is to get selected for Worlds. I mean, yeah, the job was selection, and unfortunately I'm still not there. But yeah, we've got nationals, and hopefully I can get it there, and then I might do well enough to get selected there. But Faye's having a great week, and I'm just proud to be on the team with Faye, and then Bethy after having her baby. Yeah, so nice to have her back on the podium.
Look, you have got another chance to possibly get that time, and just listen to this crowd, everybody cheering you on. That was a wonderful swim. Well done.
Thank you.
And Bethany, I know you just mentioned Bethany. I just really want to come over and talk to her because she had a baby. You had a baby 8 months ago. Wow, and you've just gone and done that, and you're a bronze medalist. Sum up how you feel right now.
Yeah, I'm so proud, and I want to make her proud of me, and I want to show that women don't have to choose between having a baby and sport. We can do both. So this wasn't the opportunity. Yeah, I'm just working on it, getting back. We have another chance in July to make the team, and I really want to be there.
Phenomenal message. Love it. Congratulations. Everyone give it up for Brock, Faye and Bethany.
Well done to the para medalists. They have been absolutely superb. Faye Rogers has been on fire there. Bethany Firth is getting excited because she has seen her old teammate making these presentations. Good friend of Bethany Firth, Hannah Russell, who's retired now, but now is making her way to make the presentations to one of our best pals, Bethany Firth. They were on the team together, the GB team. They came through the ranks together. And Hannah Russell and Bethany Firth cheering this moment on the medal podium. That's fantastic. Faye Rogers, well, what a week she's had. Almost unbeatable this week. And she nearly took it, 2 points the difference. But a British record for Faye Rogers again. What form is she in? Fantastic. And Brock Whiston, well, that was an emotional interview, wasn't it? Brock Whiston will be back. Only 15/100ths of a second to drop. She is a real superstar. And as she said, she has another chance to make qualification in the summer meet. That's the second stage of qualification for these para swimmers, so she'll build towards that, and hopefully she can dip under that standard and beyond that plane to Singapore. Well done to the para swimmers.
Oh, such a close race, amazing. And sure she'll do it. Well, the next race up is the women's 200 metres individual medley, and the fastest seed in this final is Abby Wood. She swam a great heat this morning, and after her heat this morning, she spoke with Betty Glover.
Abby, well done. You've obviously already qualified for Worlds, so how are you approaching this one tonight?
This is still my main event, so I want to have a good run at it this cycle, but I want to build on it towards the World Championships. So to do it with no pressure here, we're already making it on the 4am. It's actually something I've never really had, so it's quite nice, yeah.
So with that in mind, what's the build-up to this been? Because you've had a couple of days off, haven't you? So have you been doing intense training? Have you been resting? What have you been doing?
No, I've been chilling as much as I can. Yeah, just binging Big Brother and just being around the pool a little bit, but probably spending minimal time at the pool just to clear your head a bit, because otherwise it can be a long week.
All right, well, good luck and enjoy Big Brother between now and then.
I don't know why I said that.
Fan of TV like that is for sure. I'm very excited to watch Abby in that 200 IM final. But we have been asking you guys at home to predict what you think that winning time is going to be. We put a poll out on Instagram. This is what most of you said. You can see 72% of you were going for that time over there. But everybody, we have got a supercomputer, which is all very exciting and very high tech. So we've put some numbers into that and asked the supercomputer to tell us what it thinks. And this is the result. You can see it there in pink. Wow. Well, let's see if the supercomputer and the 2% of you that went for that are correct. I'll hand you back to the commentary gang of Andy and Dan.
Well, I've got to tell you, that's you're very, very optimistic back home. 2080 underneath 28. The British record is 2:06.88 set by Siobhan Marie O'Connor, bottom right there of your screen, back in Rio 2016. Now, I think she was one of the most unsung heroes in terms of British swimming. That is still a brilliant time, still in, what, the top 6 or 7 times ever?
Yeah, absolutely. That record has now held for 9 years. Very, very good swim for them. Very, very good swim for now.
And that's, well, that predictor, very interesting to see. They noticed they didn't ask us, Dan, what we thought. Thank goodness. Trying to predict a time here. What do you think, Dan?
Whatever the quickest time on that screen was, that's the one. That's the one.
Under 2:08.
She could do that.
Come on.
Yeah, it's
really?
Abby Wood. She can do anything that she wants.
Abby Wood. I tell you what, just watching her there, she's got some guns on her. She's done a little bit of extra work in the weight room. She looked really strong. Very impressive. Well, here are the finalists coming out. This is Phoebe Cooper in lane 2 with Candice Hall just outside of her. Phoebe Cooper from City of Sheffield in lane 2. And Emily Smith of Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson, one of 3 juniors in this final. She's just 15 years old, is Emily Smith. Outside of her is Beatrice Varley, and then Matilda Potter, another 16-year-old, another junior. And Leah Schlossen, what a meet she's had. She's made the World Championship team on that 200 metres freestyle, the 4x2 free relay. And she was European Junior Champion in the Vista 200 medley in 2023. Katie Shanahan, brilliant 400 medley swimmer. In fact, Olympic finalist in the 4IM, the 200 back. Here she's won gold on the 100 and 200 metres backstroke. I'd love to see her get underneath that Singapore time of 2:10.6. And she's going to do that, so she'll be on the plane certainly. And Abby Wood, well, can she win gold, a second gold? She won the 4IM, bronze on the 200 freestyle. Can she sweep the medleys here at this championships?
I think she can, Andy. I'm looking at these 3 girls now, and they are stronger stroke. They're all different. We know Abby has a fantastic breaststroke. Katie Shanahan won gold in the 100 backstroke and 200 backstroke, so she's going to be the one to watch on that second 50. And Leah Schlossen is going to be coming back like a rocket because she won the silver in the 200 free. This could go anywhere.
Well, it certainly could. My predictor, I'm going to say that the Singapore qualification time is 2:10.6, and I'm going to say that I think we're going to have 2 swimmers in the 209s. Quite which ones, I'm not sure. Just giving her face a little bit of a tap there, just to heighten the senses, make sure that she's absolutely snappy and on it behind the blocks.
Yeah, maybe it was a little ritual. I used to do little things. I used to twiddle my fingers.
Did you? Twiddle your fingers, that get you going. Wow. It's the final of night 5 at this 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. It is the women's 200 medley. And it is Abby Wood, the fastest seed in 4, with Shanahan in 5. But with Phoebe Cooper in 2, in 3, Leah Schlossen, Abby Wood and Katie Shanahan in 4 and 5 got some work to do. And Emily Smith also very good in the centre. But Abby Wood's technical stuff, the starts and turns, utterly brilliant. And she really does take, probably if you add it all up, close to 1.5 metres, 2 metres off the rest of the field, just on the starts and turns.
Ooh, Andy, you should have seen her dive then. She was half a body length coming up at 15. Now coming into the first turn, Abby Wood leads with a 27.59. Followed quite closely is Schlossen, 27.95. Now we're really going to see Schlossen pull back on this backstroke.
Well, that was an excellent fly and into the backstroke phase. Coming back is Shanahan. Not surprisingly, really, gold on the 100 backstroke, gold on the 200 backstroke. And she's really eaten into that lead. I think she's going to have to be ahead if she's going to win at this halfway mark, because Abby Wood's been an Olympic finalist in 200 breaststroke and in the 200 IM, so she's got some work to do. Over first, it's 59.89, 0.2 outside of the British record, Siobhan Marie O'Connor's British record at that halfway. Excellent breaststroke as well. This could go here. Wouldn't it be great if she went 2:06? I can't see that, but I can see 2 swimmers underneath that consideration time at 2:10 most comfortably.
Yeah, now they would have been able to see where they are, especially in between the lanes next to them on that backstroke in their peripherals. But in the breaststroke, they lose touch of where they are in the field because they are looking directly forward.
Well, Leah Schlossen's breaststroke's been very good up there in lane 3, but look how far ahead she is. Almost the body length ahead is Abby Wood. Abby Wood is really swimming well here. Katie Shanahan's going with her. Wood's already won the 400 metres individual medley gold medal here. Can she win the 2 as well? Shanahan's catching her. Shanahan's definitely catching in 5, but Abby Wood, she's still got about a metre and a half lead here. Abby Wood right in the centre in lane 4, won gold on that 400, and she was bronze medalist on the 200 metres freestyle. She's going to add a gold on this 200 medley. 2:08.95, a Singapore qualification time for Abby Wood, winning gold in the women's 200 medley, and an excellent swim from Katie Shanahan in silver medal position, going 2:09.88. So 2 swimmers, yes, under 2:10. I was a little bit wrong on Abby Wood's time, though. I thought she'd go 2:09. She's ducked under it by 15/100ths. Leah Schlossen, the bronze. What a race that was by Abby Wood. Took it by the scruff of the neck and just choked it, didn't she?
That was such a good finish, and it did make me laugh. Abby looked directly at Katie and she just mouthed, "What was the time? I can't see it." And then when Katie told her, she's a massive smile, as she should.
Well, it's because the scoreboard is way down the other end of this wonderful cathedral-like facility. You can just see the 2 bright lights, these 2 big scoreboards, but the writing not that big. You've definitely got to have 20/20 vision to see that, but this attack off that start in the first 50.
Yeah, Abby had a phenomenal first 25. She really came up half a body length ahead, carried that momentum from the dive into the first stroke. She was sure to keep her head down, her hips down, for maximum propulsion through that water.
Oh, so good to see these 2 Singapore qualification times for the gold and silver medalists. Here we go. Abby Wood wins gold, 2:08.95. That is really, really excellent. A new lifetime best for Abby Wood. Shanahan the silver, also underneath that Singapore qualification time. And Leah Schlossen the bronze. And Betty Glover now going to be talking to 2 superstar medley swimmers.
What a way to end the night. And we've got 2 Singapore qualification in the bag for Abby and Katie. Abby, I'm going to come to you because earlier I spoke to you, said that you're going to be resting all day to get yourself ready. And you've only gone and got yourself a PB.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by that. I think actually the 4 medley training's probably helped out the back end of my 200, so it sounds like that's sticking around.
At the end, I saw you speak to Katie. Obviously, you're very good friends. You spoke to her. Did you say, what was my time because I can't see it?
Yeah, I've got really, really bad eyesight, like really bad. It's too far away.
And what was your reaction when you saw that time?
Yeah, I was quite surprised. I was very pleasantly surprised, and then with the girls pushing me all the way, it was a really good race.
And look, your start, but also your turns are so impressive. And that, you were always sort of a little bit ahead with them. Is that something that you've really been working on?
Yeah, over the years I have, but I think just making sure I can maintain the actual speed of swimming has been my biggest challenge. And I think I just want to bring it down to the same standard as my short course.
Well, congratulations. And Katie, will you be adding this 200 IM to your plans for Singapore then?
Yeah, I think so, which is good. I'm happy to have gone under the qualification time and to have come second as well. It was a really good race with these 2 girls, and I always know that I'll push on Abby in some strokes and Abby will push me on another stroke, so it's always really good to race her and we always get the best time from each other. So,
well done, job done, and also congratulations to Leah, who is our bronze medalist.
Big smiles here as well. Look at this, because Mummy Wood is presenting the prizes. Oh, isn't that lovely to see? That really is. Wow. Here we go. Julie Wood gets the bronze medal, and we'll present it to Leah Schlossen of Manchester Performance Centre. What a week she's had. She'll be going to Singapore. Phuket is the training camp, and then on to Singapore. What a meet they're going to have. And a silver medal there to Katie Shanahan. Very good swim from her. Right on her lifetime best. But a new lifetime best. Give her a hug. Fantastic. Well done. I love it. Absolutely love it. Julie Wood presenting the championship title, gold medal, to her daughter, Abby Wood. A new lifetime best underneath the Singapore qualification time. Gold on the 400 medley and now gold on this 200 medley. She'll also be doing that women's 4x2 free relay. Good old chat with all three of them. Look at that. They're professional chatters, those three, so it's going to be quite a while before anyone else can get a word in edgeways, but that's fantastic. What a great way to finish night 5 of the swimming. And can't wait to hear what they have to say in the studio to summarise that lot, because there's just been lifetime bests, qualification standards, really impressive, brilliant swims all over the pool this evening. Really has been great fun. Super stuff. Well, that's just having a ladies' parade in front of us. There's Abby Wood talking to her mum. Wonderful stuff. And Betty Glover now will summarise the whole evening with some superstars in the studio. Betty and Dan.
Thanks so much, Andy. We can see Abby there talking to her mum, having a little big old hug because she's won another gold medal and a massive PB, Dan. How happy is she going to be making a PB like that at this stage of the year?
Very. You know, you do come to this competition wanting PBs, but the main aim for the year is to get those PBs and season's best in the main competition in the summer. But amazing swim. So happy for Abby.
Do you look at her and think there's even more in the tank for her? Do you think she can push this on and you know, get better times in Singapore as well?
Absolutely. You know, obviously here we've got a great atmosphere, but when they go to Singapore, when the team is there, the crowd will be absolutely bouncing, and it's going to be massive.
Yeah, it will do. And also a word on Katie Shanahan as well, because she also made that Singapore time.
Yeah, and the smile on her face was awesome. It just shows how happy she was. I did laugh when I saw Abby look at Katie and was like, what was the time? It was so funny because the screens really are far away.
Yeah, they are. They're so far away, but she was thrilled when she saw it. And the men's 50-metre freestyle was another really good race. Did you expect that winner?
Yeah, I did, because Ben is such a phenomenal swimmer. So is Jacob, don't get me wrong, but yeah, Ben has just had so much experience in these big arenas that I was pretty certain that he was going to get that. But you never know with a 50. You blink and you miss it sometimes.
Oh, I know.
So it's so close.
Goes so fast. Can you tell me exactly what he meant? Oh, actually, I want to know why you and Andy were going so in on the hair. Does that really make such a difference in a 50?
Yeah, I'd say it does.
Does it?
Well, I can't really say much because I was a distance swimmer, and I'm not very hairy. I'm like a dolphin walking around the place, but...
Like a dolphin.
I am. I'm not
Lovely.
hairy at all, but I think it's more psychological.
It's more psychological. Is there anything else that really caught your eye out there this evening?
Every race. I loved every race. They're easy races to commentate on, these are.
Yeah, and also just a shout out to Tyler Melbourne-Smith as well in the 800 metre. I know that, you know, you were a distance swimmer, but he wasn't very happy with his time at the end, but he did get that gold, and he's improving so quickly, isn't he?
He is improving, and it is important for Tyler to remember he is still young. He's got a long way to go. He's got a lot to learn, but he's got years to do it as well. But I got a shout out to Rhys Grady. I was gutted that he wasn't here tonight, and all the best to him. You know, I hope he recovers very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, we are back for one last night of epic racing here at the London Aquatics Centre. Tomorrow at 6:45, we have got all the build-up, and then at the end of that, we will be able to confirm who will be going to Singapore, who will be getting those times. We've also got 10 more gold medals to give out, so you will not want to miss a thing. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.